Hey guys, today we're still reviewing statistics and we're looking at the box plot. So a box plot is drawn using the 5-number summary, so the minimum, Q1, median, Q3 and maximum for a set of data. So we have our minimum and maximum score identified here, and then we have these whiskers that go to our box part of our box plot. So with this line here identifying as our Q1, our median here, and our Q3 here. So this box represents the interquartile range and easily shows the spread of the interquartile range. So box plots are useful as they divide the data into sections that each contain approximately 25% of the data in the set. They provide a visual summary of the data, enabling researchers to quickly identify the mean values, the median, the dispersion of the data set, so the spread of the data set, and the signs of skewness. So between our minimum and our Q1 is 25% of our data. Then between Q1 and our median is another 25% of our data. Between our median and our Q3 is another 25% of our data. And between our Q3 and our maximum is another 25% of our data. This is because our median is our middle score, and then our Q1 is the middle score between our minimum and our median, and our Q3 is our middle score between our median and our maximum. So a box plot gives an impression of the spread of the data and also whether the data is symmetrical or skewed from its centre. This will be indicated by the box being nearer to one end than the other. If there are more low scores, the skew is said to be positively skewed. More high scores, the skew is said to be negatively skewed. So this first box plot here has normal distribution. So because it has normal distribution, it means that each section here is worth 25%, or approximately 25%, which means that it is symmetrical. Our next box plot here is positively skewed. This is because the majority of our data, so 50% of our data down here, is towards the lower end of scores, and then this box plot here is negatively skewed because we have more data towards the higher end of scores. So for the 20 scores shown, we're going to find the 5-number summary, the interquartile range, and we're going to display the data in a box plot. So this data is already in order, and what we want to do is we want to state our 5-number summary, which is our minimum score, our Q1, our median, our third quartile, and our maximum score. So our minimum score here is 2, and our maximum score is 10. To find our median, we have 20 scores, so it's going to be the score that's in between the 10th and the 11th score. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scores. So that means our Q2 or our median is in between the 5 and the 6, because we then have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scores on the other side. So smack bang in the middle is the score 5.5, in between 5 and 6. To find our first quartile, our Q1, it is the middle score of the first set of scores. So we'll have, it'll be in between our 5th and our 6th score, which is here. So it will be 4, and then our third quartile is in between it's in the middle of the second lot of scores. So again, we'll have 5 scores on either side. So it will be here, and it will be 8. To calculate our interquartile range, it is Q3 minus Q1, so where Q3 is 8 minus our Q1 is 4. 8 minus 4 is in fact 4. Now to draw our box plot, what we do is we get our minimum score and we do a straight line at our minimum score. So our minimum score is 2, so I'm going to do a straight line there. And our maximum score is 10, and I'm going to do a line in exact alignment with it, the same distance. We then have our first quartile, which is at 4, so I'm going to do a line there, and it's going to be bigger than the line for my minimum score, and I'm going to go to my third quartile, which is at 8. It's going to be the same distance, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these lines using a straight line. I don't think my straight line will work properly, like so. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw in our median. So our median is at 5.5, and then we're going to connect these lines to make our box, like so. And so what we have here is we have our minimum score, we have our Q1, we have our Q2 or our median, we have our Q3, and we have our maximum score all displayed in our box plot. So box plots are useful ways to visualize differences among different samples or groups. We can compare the 5-number summary and the medians of each box plot. We can compare the interquartile ranges, that is the box lengths, to examine how the data is spread between each sample. The longer the box, the more spread the data. The smaller, the less spread the data. We can look at the overall spread as shown by the extreme values at the end of 2 whiskers. This shows the range of scores or spread. Larger ranges indicate a wider spread, that is that there's more scattered data. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these 2 sporting club scores for the season are compared for each club. We're going to state the 5-number summary, the interquartile range, and the skewness. So I'm going to make club 1 green, and I'll make club 2 blue. So for club 1, we want to find the 5-number summary. So the 5-number summary, our minimum is 10, our Q1, so we have our min, our Q1, our Q2, our Q3, and our max. So our minimum was 10, our Q1 is 30, our Q2 is 40, or our median, our Q3 is 60, and our maximum score is 70. We then want to work out our interquartile range. So our interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, where that is our Q3 is 60 minus our Q1 of 30, so that equals 30. You can also work out the distance of our box, and then C, we want to work out our skewness. So with this one, our scores are mainly towards the higher end. So because they're more towards the high... Oh, sorry. No, that's wrong. Yes. The scores are more at the higher end. So because they're more at the higher end, what we have our box plot looking like is that it is negatively skewed. So this box plot is negatively skewed. Skewness is quite difficult, so always look back on your notes or this video if you get stuck. Then for club 2, we're going to work out the 5-number summary. So we have our minimum score, our Q1, our Q2, our Q3, and our maximum score. So our minimum score is 10, Q1 is 20, median or Q2 is 40, our Q3 is 60, and our maximum score is 70. So B, to find our, what's it called? To find our interquartile range, it is our Q3 minus Q1, so that is 60 minus 20, which equals 40. And then for our skewness, this one is more symmetrical than it is positively or negatively skewed, so we are going to write that it is symmetrical.